afternoon to you drivers. Today, trying something a little bit different, we are checking out an app called Steering Up. Now, this is available through the Google Play Store. Not on iOS as of yet, but apparently they're underway, works in progress and that kind of thing. It's using GPS on this phone to actually see how I'm driving. Whether I'm taking corners a little bit too fast, whether I'm speeding unnecessarily, a bit of route information as well. Could be interesting. I'm about to press start on it. Just at home, I've got 35 k's ahead of me before I get to work. Got to stop off for petrol. Don't know if that's going to change anything. The majority of my trip is going to be freeway driving, so I don't know if that's going to play much of a part of it anyway, but we'll hit play or hit start. Let it record for the next 35 k's, hit stop and see what it comes up with and find out exactly how I'm going. Now, the car I'm driving, of course, the family stag, the Stagia, it's just a family wagon. How fast can you get in this thing? Let's find out. Now, there's a couple of things to note about this app, and one is that you don't actually have to mount it in the car anywhere. You can actually have it in your pocket, and it'll record your journey and your cornering and your speeding and everything else that you're doing as you drive, which is pretty cool. Now, if you want to mount it, it does, of course, have a pretty handy speed guide to find out exactly how you're going. At a brief glance, it seems fairly accurate to what I'm doing. Only 1 or 2 k's out, and most speedos are out by about 2 to 3 k's anyway, so that's not too bad. So it will record even in your pocket. Now, you can set it up to auto record as well, so that it works out, hey, you're going pretty fast, you must be in a car. But just be aware too that if you take a train trip with this thing on auto record, a tram trip, a bus trip, any kind of public transport, maybe even a skateboard or a horse, it will try to tell you how skilled your skateboarding, horse riding, train riding, tram riding, bus riding will be too. It doesn't differentiate between modes of travel. Another thing is too, I am using the Pro version of this. There is a free version to try out, obviously, but the Pro version does cost a little bit more. And when you do stop, after a time, it will realise that you have stopped, and you'll have to start it again if you're not in auto record mode, of course. So when I was at the petrol station just before I got back in the car, looked at the app, it had stopped, so I've hit record again just to record the second part of my journey to see how we're going. How have I gone so far, do I reckon? Well, I know that I've sped up a couple of times on the M1. That's kind of natural for that freeway, especially overtaking cars and stuff. It'll be interesting to see what the report actually says. Apparently it uses GPS to record everything that you're doing, speeding, cornering, all that kind of stuff. And then when you get to somewhere with Wi-Fi or internet, you can actually send the report, and then it'll calculate what's going on and hopefully give you some answers. So we'll keep on going. I'm almost halfway to work at the moment. We'll find out exactly what's going on with my driving habits, and hopefully they'll give me some helpful tips. Probably don't drive a turbo wagon would be one of them. So I've just found a park now. I'm going to hit stop on the recorder. It'll send its relevant data to the app HQ, and hopefully it won't be too long before I get a glowing report explaining exactly how bad a driver I truly am. Now, after playing with the app for a few minutes, I've discovered that the first scorecard, my very first scorecard, is actually going to be generated within 1 week after this trip. So I wasn't going to wait that long. The good thing is that even after just half an hour of driving, it's given me a wealth of things to look at. The first thing, the trip summary. Turning and braking maneuver issues were detected, apparently. I got a score of 4.4. I'm not sure if that's out of 5 or 10 or possibly even 100. But it gives you the start time, end time between the two breaks, from my house to the petrol station, from the petrol station to work as well, total distance in kilometres. And then you get into the manoeuvring side of things, and it'll tell you your manoeuvre speed, turn entry deceleration was a little hard, the turn exit was good, so points for there. This is amazing. It's really gone into depth. Oh, I just took these corners normally. Corner of Elizabeth Avenue and Old Burley Road, that doesn't look good. Turn entry deceleration was a little hard, the turn exit was good. So turning seemed to be okay. Braking, stopping distance was good, braking was smooth, braking was also a little hard in some cases. So it really goes into depth about everything. On to trip statistics as well, 33% idle time, 80% time efficiency, so that's probably a B there. 100% in the day, 0% in the night. Thankfully, they worked that one out. 100% urban, 0% rural. It tells me every suburb that I've been through Carrara, Broadbeach, Nerang, Broadbeach Waters, Clear Island Waters, Mermaid Waters, the types of roads I've been on as well. primary, tertiary service, residential and primary link. This is really, really in-depth. It's absolutely amazing. On my speeding overview, how bad was I speeding? Apparently you can click on a segment to view details, but I just want a general indication of exactly all the things I shouldn't have been doing. There we go. It's told me the posted speed is 100 clicks. My average was 102.2. My highest was 105.1. Whoops. And it tells me where I was speeding as well, which hopefully that doesn't get sent to any of the authorities because I don't think they need to know that. It was just possibly an overtaking maneuver. There we go. I was speeding for a total of 599 meters. Wow, it really picks up on everything. So best be careful. I'm really hoping they don't send the data to any authorities, although I love the feature that actually gives a picture of roughly where you were when you were speeding. I mean, I'm on the M1. There's bushes on either side. I have no idea. On the map, it tells me I was somewhere on the freeway, but yeah, very in-depth. So ultimately, we've got a pretty impressive collection of data after just half an hour of driving. Were there any major surprises in there that shocked me? Not particularly. Having the app on, I was kind of self-conscious of the fact that it was recording every single thing that I did. And so I was well and truly aware of the fact that sometimes the speedo crept a little bit past 100. The cornering, however, I thought I was just taking normally, but apparently going around a little bit too fast. So it's interesting that it does pick up on a lot of stuff that you might not be aware of, especially at lower speeds, which I think is pretty cool. It's a fantastic app if you really want to drill down your driving style and see if you can improve yourself and whether you need to slow down or possibly even speed up. I don't know what happens if you go too slow with this thing. Would I use it again? Yeah, occasionally just for the novel side of things. I don't think I'd ever brag to someone, hey, look at my score around this quarter, or look at my report card this year. How good a driver have I been, or how terrible a driver am I? But for something that you can just throw into your pocket, switch on and off when you like, get a little bit more info about things that you might not be aware of. I think it's pretty cool. So definitely, if you've got an Android device that it's capable to install on, give it a spin. See what you can find. Let me know too in the comments whether you came up with anything that surprised you. And make sure you take those corners nice and easy, won't you?